And welcome. Our beautiful teacher will correct some of our mistakes, including the pronunciation, grammar, and so on. Let's welcome her, Crystal McCrae, if you want to use the last name.
Alright guys, just quickly before I start on the language evaluation, I just want to tell you guys that when I come up here to do the table topics, I also feel nervous. Okay? And English is my first language. Especially when Kiwi's got this list of questions and we don't know what question is coming, okay? And she's so happy because she's like, I know the questions. Okay, so if you guys came up here and today you felt a little bit nervous, or you feel like you couldn't say what you wanted to say, don't worry about it, because I feel that way too, and English is my first language. Okay, so just a quick thing on that. For the language evaluation, I'll start with some pronunciation problems that I heard. The pronunciation of those two words is actually quite different, but maybe to you it sounds the same. Our, or,
Or.
our,
Or.
or. Okay. Often when you guys are saying our, to me it sounds like you're saying or. So just be a little bit careful with that. Okay. This is a confusing word because it looks like you should say ballot, but we say ballot or ballot. You'll hear different pronunciations too, but you don't want to put too much emphasis on this O. Okay? You don't want to say ballot. Okay? Ballot.
Ballot.
Ballot. Okay. A few of you guys were talking about things you like to play, okay? But to me it sounds like you're saying pay. So I know that PL sound, it's a little bit hard to say. Maybe play.
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 Beautiful. These words are actually quite different, but when you guys are speaking about a habit or a hobby, I don't know which one you're saying. And I've heard that maybe 4 or 5 times tonight. Okay, so be pretty careful because these are actually quite different. Okay, habit,
Habit.
hobby.
Hobby.
Okay, so I think you guys just aren't putting very much emphasis on the E part of hobby. Okay, so what is your hobby? Say, what is your hobby?
What is your hobby?
What is your habit?
What is your habit?
Okay, they're quite different, but when you guys say them, I think you're saying them a little bit quickly, and it's hard for me to hear the difference between them. So be a little careful with that. Yeah, not a lot of pronunciation errors. I have to point this one out because it's quite funny. At the beginning of the meeting, Kiwi said to Sean, it's time. What she meant was, it's time to start the meeting. But if you say this phrase, it is time, it sounds like to me you're talking to a prisoner, and that prisoner you're going to take them and then you're going to kill them. Okay? Like, no more life for you. It is time. Come on. Okay? So when you said that to Sean, I was like, oh. Okay? So a different way that you could say that is, let's get started. You could say, okay, Sean, it's 10 after 7. Let's get started. Don't kill Sean, okay? It's time. But I've heard many people say that before too, so don't worry. I'm not picking on you, I promise. Okay. At the beginning, we had that neat conversation about nuclear power, and you guys were speaking about nuclear electronic factory. Okay. Now I think maybe that's the direct translation from Chinese, but you want to say nuclear power plant. Don't really say nuclear factory in English, and you definitely don't say nuclear electronic factory. The special place that has nuclear power is called a power plant. It sounds like a very strong vegetable, but no. Okay? Power plant. Yep.
This one just for nuclear? Or
Just for nuclear.
how about other if the fire, water?
Oh, that's my next one. Fire.
Okay.
When you're talking in Chinese, I think the direct translation is firepower.
Yeah.
But in English, you'll say fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Yeah, fossil fuels.
Fossil fuels.
Yeah, fossil referring to something very old in the ground, fuel meaning the energy. Okay, that's a good question. That was next on my list. So smart. And was it Curtis? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Curtis had that interesting idea when he came to the front, and he said, "I think we should have a limit." And I think you said people need to have a range of power. What you could say, another way of saying that is quota. A quota means a limit. So that's what you said. I understood exactly what you meant. But if you want to use some new vocabulary, you can say quota. I think everyone should have an energy quota if they surpass if they go above their quota, they need to pay money. You can say, when you're talking about quotas, let's say our quota is 1 to 50. Okay. If you are within your quota, you don't need to pay a lot of money. If you surpass your quota, you have to pay money. Okay, so within quota, surpass quota, those are words that are commonly used together. And they're talking about some kind of limitation. You can use quota for almost any kind of limitation. Maybe you're studying for so long. You look at your watch, it's midnight, you're like, oh, I've surpassed my learning quota. Okay, I've surpassed my learning quota. You've eaten too much, oh, I've surpassed my eating quota. It sounds a little weird, but you can use that too. Learning quota, but here you definitely could use this when you're talking about energy. But you can use quota anytime you're talking about some kind of limit that you have. You should never say, and I hear people say this very often, I like to play computer. Okay? I like to play computer games. Okay? You definitely need this part. If you tell an English speaker, I like to play computer, I think, maybe you like to take apart the computer, put it back together, or maybe you and your computer go for a walk. That's what I'm thinking. I'm picturing you at a coffee shop with your computer. Okay? I don't understand. But if you say, I like to play computer games, oh, okay, online games. Okay? You can just say online games, that's okay too. That's fine. But just make sure, yeah.
What about the games that computer that is offline?
Yeah, that can just be computer games. Yeah. Computer games can be online or offline. But specifically if you're playing, I don't even know any computer games, sorry. If you're playing a game that you're using the internet, you're online games. I am not regret studying at Donghua. I don't regret studying at Donghua. Okay, be careful about this because again, this is a very common mistake that I hear. Okay, if you don't regret something, make sure you're using don't. Okay, I am not regret is not correct. Okay, I don't regret studying English. I don't regret joining Toastmasters. I don't regret taking Crystal's class. a vocabulary word you guys probably don't know. Crystal, you were talking about your brother, and you were saying your brother is a professional basketball player. And I was like, whoa, so cool. Because to me, professional basketball player means the NBA. If you say professional, it means NBA. Or maybe professional, he plays for Taiwan's team. But really, it's more NBA. But you're talking about your brother plays at university, right? Oh, no. Oh, senior, okay. All right, let's pretend he plays at university because that's the vocabulary word I want to teach you. For senior high school, you could say varsity. This word is varsity.
Varsity.
But it's more commonly used in university. But varsity basketball sounds a little weird for high school, but for university it's okay. Varsity means any so if you play on the university team, you can say, I play varsity basketball. I play varsity baseball. I play varsity, when I was in university, I played varsity rugby. You guys know what rugby is? It's a very popular sport in Australia and New Zealand, and it looks like they have a football, but they don't pass the football like this, they pass the football behind. And then a lot of people in that sport, they hit each other. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
In Chinese, what is it? Sure, why not? I don't know what it is. Okay. Yeah, they get together like that and they push, 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 push. We'll look it up after. It's okay. And it's a very violent sport. That's why I'm a tomboy. Okay. I study at NDHU. You don't study in. It sounds strange. I think this is one of the most difficult things in English, is knowing when to use in, at, on, for, it, or not it, but prepositions are very difficult. Okay? So you can say, I study at NDHU. And the last one, I'm just going to teach you guys a little phrase. Last year, guys, you guys were making me laugh so much, and last year I told you guys, oh, you guys crack me up. If something cracks you up, it means it makes you laugh. Okay? So last year, I think I taught you guys that, but just in case you forget, hey, you crack me up.
You crack me up.
Crack me up means you make me laugh. And today what I want to say to you guys, because I was laughing so hard when, who was it that was speaking? You were speaking Taiwanese at one point. I looked over at Sean, and Sean almost fell out of his chair. And I was laughing at that, but then I looked at John, and I was laughing at that even more. It was just so funny. You guys are hilarious. So I want to say, you guys are a hoot. Okay? A hoot is slang, and it means really fun. Okay? So it's kind of an old person slang, though. Not that I'm old. Okay? But this is slang that more my parents' generation would probably use. But the meaning of it is, it's really fun. So tonight, Toastmasters was a hoot. It was a hoot. It was really fun.
Always use a hoot.
Yeah, always together.
More than one people still use a hoot.
Yeah, you're a hoot. They're a hoot. It was a hoot.
A
Yeah.
hoot. Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of old person slang, but it's still cool. All right, that's all.